minute late,
stuff.
but Felix, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
All right,
I'm just
yes, sir.
bullhorn here.
Yeah. All right, hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Meeting started. Okay, so good morning. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors of the Orange Branch Development District. Today is July 20th, 2026, and time is currently 11:01, 1 minute off. AM, we're located at the Webb St. John's at 57 Headstream Drive, St. John's, Florida, 32259. Supervisors present today is Justin Dudley, William Messina, Zachary Decker, Brett North, and Taylor Larson. Staff present today is myself, Felix Rodriguez, Ernesto Torres, Caitlin Bellinger, Jenna Root, Justin Burke, and Nicole Parr. Did I miss any of the staff?
Perry.
Here?
Nicole Perry. Hurry.
I can tell worse, it's fine.
All right, Perry. All right. Who do we have on the line? Grace, are you on the line? Well, what else I think I'll need? Grace, are you on the line? All right, who do we have on the line? I know somebody's there, but the music isn't playing, okay. Got you, Grace, thank you. Do we have anybody else on the line?
Thank you.
And for everybody's information, Grace is the district council superintendent telephonically. Okay. All right, first order of business is called order roll call. Completed. Second order of business is going to be public comments. This portion of public comments is, for one, public comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. And if you have a comment to make, please state your name and your address for the record. And this first portion is to discuss anything that you see on the agenda. So if you have any comments, and please keep in mind this public comments, so while the board may interact with you, they may not, but please know everything is being noted and be taken into consideration. If they're looking at their iPads, whatever, they may be looking, referencing something on the iPad, they're not ignoring you all, okay, or being disrespectful. They don't want you to speak. Yes, ma'am. Oh, were you signed in to see if we have enough for everybody? Okay, ma'am. But also, if you look, those of you who have agendas, and if we don't have enough agendas, if you look at somebody that does, there is a link there or a web address. You can pull this agenda up electronically on your phone or tablets. Okay. So back as I was saying, public comments. The first order of business, or the second order of business, public comments. This is address anything that's noted on the agenda. If you have any comments or reference to any agenda item, now's the time for that.
I would like to make a comment.
Okay, and then at the end, I'll call for public comments again. At which time that is to address any items that's not listed on the agenda, okay? So there'll be two, and actually there'll be a third time for public comments because we do have a public hearing, and I'll get into that when we get to that portion. But if your comment are regards to the amenity rules, rates, and policies, there will be a time for that during the public hearing, which I believe will be our next agenda item, okay? So I'll go ahead, ma'am, since you have something, I'll go ahead and start with you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, my comment involves the amenities center, so when you've got all
Yes.
the amenity rules, so should
Yes.
we like that comment now or
Next,
like
ma'am.
it later?
Next.
Okay.
So the next agenda item is we get time for that. So anybody else? Yes, sir.
The RV storage.
Well, that'll be next.
Yeah.
We'll have a public hearing for that. Yes, sir. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
This head stream that goes all the way out to, I guess, Greenbrier, is that also being used by Bartram Ranch?
Headstream does not connect to Greenbrier. The connection for the community is all located at this intersection here.
Yes, I had seen a map that they had put out, and it looked like head stream was from them all the way up through here. And if that's the case, then we would have a back entrance that would be non-gated, I guess.
Yeah, and a good time to mention it. So as the CDD, we'll be wearing our CDD hats during the meeting, but I do understand, like, some of us are wearing a CDD hat and a developer hat.
Right.
We would consider that a developer item, so like, we could address it under that, but it may be under some of those maps. There might be utility looping connections or something that look like a connection, not intended to be a vehicular access connection. That's possible, I'm not certain. but that's possible. But the only connection for the community is through the gated entrance. It's currently there.
Another question. The roads coming in, there is a road coming from Orange Branch into the complex.
Does anybody want another copy? You're gonna have
Those
this.
roads.
These questions about the roads coming from Bartram Ranch that will ultimately be extended and tie into that large roundabout. And those, I'm not sure on the Bartram Ranch side, but those are intended to be CDD roads for, everything within the Orange Branch CDD.
So, in other words, we're all paying for the maintenance of that.
Correct.
But they don't have a CDD.
As for the roads within the Orange Branch CDD, which is everything, all the spine roads you see today, in addition to, there is at that large traffic circle, there is a stub out for a road that heads west. It will connect to the Bartram Ranch roads, and to the extent that it stops at the boundary of what will be a part of the Orange Branch CDD, that will be an Orange Branch CDD road. Once it enters the Toll Brothers community and whatever that is assigned over to, whether it's an HOA road or a county road, I'm not certain.
Just keep in mind though, this portion of public comments is for agenda items only. We'll address non-agenda items afterwards. No. Yes, ma'am, you have something?
I don't know if it's appropriate at this time, I just wanna know who pays into the CDD? Does Bartram as well as Del Webb and Greenbrier pay into this Orange Park CDD?
To your point, should I hold that?
Yeah, let's hold that to
for
the end, yeah,
final?
let's
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Any other comments? Okay. All right, and we will, like I said, at the end, we'll have a comments, and that'll be, any comments that's outside of the agenda items, okay? So we will address them, just write them down, and we'll get to you guys, okay? All right, the third order of business, is gonna be the public hearing on amended rules, policies and fees regarding amenity facilities. This public hearing, is reference to amenity rates, rules, and fees, that were established in our April meeting. This is a public hearing set, so we can hear feedback from the residents and all public that are present, okay? The amendment updates and consolidates the rules governing access to the use of the district recreational facilities, including key fobs, guest access, playground supervision, RV storage, fitness center, and pool use, pavilion rentals, and applicable fees, okay? At this time, I'll open the public hearing. And again, keep in mind, 3 minutes, state your name and address if you would, please, for the record. At this time, are there any members, first of all, let me get a motion opening the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, this time, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing, and it's open.
I'd like
Yes,
to
ma'am.
address that then with the playgrounds. So I understand that the CDD were open to the public, I get that, I totally get that. I have, read in detail Florida statute 190. I've also read the St. Johns County Ordinance 2024-17. It's a 92-page document that was filed with the Department of State on April 8th of 2024. Nowhere in the statute or in the document that was filed with the state of Florida, when you developed the CDD, did it say that the playground would need to be open to the public and treated differently than our swimming pool in the amenity center, our exercise area, all of those. So we're the ones paying for the maintenance of the playground. It's already been damaged and had to be repaired once. We pay for that. So my question would be is, when we bought in, we were told that if someone wanted to use the playground, if they wanted to use the exercise room, if they wanted to use the swimming pool, that they were welcome to do that from the community, but that they would need to pay a fee, just like we are all paying $3,000 a year for CDD bond and maintenance fees, and that's only gonna go up. So we were told they'd have to pay in. I get that they have to do that, and they can do that, it's like a country club. But why are they getting a third of our amenities for free instead? The playground really should be treated the same, in my opinion, as the swimming pool and as the exercise room. So why is that?
The I will address that. The playground area is designed to be accessed by the adjacent neighborhoods, to encourage use by other neighborhoods, to encourage use that would also attract better venues, better food trucks, and better social activities. So the playgrounds are only partially restricted for public use because the bathrooms are limited, which should limit people's time and use there. That can be opened up during social events, but we do want to encourage some form of regional social activity at that playground area to increase what we would have for social programming. I think there was like a luau there this weekend. We would like to see those things grow in attendance and improve the use of them. Whereas the behind the gate features of the pool, the fitness center, those areas, RV, pickleball courts, those are all limited to the CDD owners.
Then why not just turn the playground over to the county and let them maintain it? Because you can do that. Instead of making that a CDD that all of us in the room, and all of us homeowners have to pay for, let the county pay for it. If we're gonna encourage everybody to come from Jacksonville, which it has been advertised for Jacksonville, and we're gonna encourage everyone to come from all the surrounding communities, okay, then turn it over to the county and not have us pay for it.
The current use of that playground is, the carry cost on it, the repairs and maintenance, the reserves and deficit funding, that's all coming from us. Like, we are funding that. There is a fixed
Who's we?
amount, we the developer, excuse me,
Till
are
when?
funding that.
Till
So,
when?
to the extent, sorry,
Till when?
till turnover.
Okay. And then we're responsible for maintenance and care when other people from other communities come in and damage it. This doesn't
For a
seem.
playground
Hang
that we
on.
over 55 don't use.
Please. I'm gonna be fair in answering the questions, if y'all will be fair and orderly in asking the questions. I just, for the
Sure.
sake of the meeting.
Sure.
But just to speak to that, when the turnover does occur, you will have a new board up here. And it can be the board's discretion to approach their CDD improvements how they wish to. And if they look to further lock them down from other county use, they can choose to do so. But we are the ones funding the use of that playground in large part at this point.
So when it was damaged, you took care of that instead of us?
Your fees did not change based on that damage. Felix?
All right, 2 minutes, yep. Next, please. Let's go to, yes, ma'am?
I'm not sure if this is the right part of the agenda, it's confusing. It's
Oh,
regarding-
actually, no, you're good. Go ahead, go.
It's regarding the playground. You wanna encourage use of it, but we can't use it because there is no shade. If you're not there before 9 o'clock in the morning or after 7 o'clock at night, the kids cannot touch the equipment. It will literally burn their skin.
Okay.
Yeah, just remind
Noted,
everybody that we're back to
Yeah.
the,
It's
fee.
the amenity
This is about
rules,
the fees.
policy, and really the fees is really what we're focused on, okay? Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
If it's gonna be open to the public, who is responsible for security?
What are you referencing, sir, the park?
Pardon?
Are you referencing, what are you referencing?
The playground.
The playground?
Like liability?
Or cameras, are there
That's my
cameras?
question.
There is, yes, ma'am,
There are?
there is.
That's security?
Well, are you referencing like roving security, sir? Right now, we're discussing the amenity rules, policies, and rates. But to answer your question, is there roving security? We don't have roving security here, sir. Is that what you're asking, sir?
Is the sheriff gonna make periodic runs around the playground?
If there's a security issue, we would encourage you to call law enforcement. Law enforcement can, address any items on that property.
That's after a problem?
Which is gonna be true of most all public places.
We were told not to be bothered to call them because they wouldn't acknowledge it, because there are so many other.
If there is a security issue that law enforcement should address, please do not call the CDD, please do not call the HOA, please do not call your lifestyle coordinator, please call the sheriff's office.
Yeah, we have.
So I do wanna make that clear.
I'll go over here and then I'll come back around. Yes, sir.
Has anything been set as far as prices and rules for the RV storage?
We're gonna set the, so here, if you look in the agenda packet, there is a range that was set in April. This is a public hearing for that, and yes, we will set this meeting, we're setting the actual monthly rate, yes, sir. That would be right after the public hearing, sir.
So are we gonna be allowed to comment after the rates are set or anything?
Well, right now, no, right now, we just, addressing what the range is, and then once the public hearing's closed, at which time then the board will take in any comments you guys in consideration, and we will set the actual rate, monthly rate, sir.
And where was the range?
The range for, let's see, you're asking for the RV, sir, RV space is up to 500. So the board can set a rate up to 500, but may not exceed that without an additional public hearing, sir.
Well, I remember that being set,
Yeah.
but nothing else. has been
Right,
said as
after this
far as-
public hearing, which time the board will take any comments made, sir, here
Okay.
into consideration, and then they will, go ahead and set the rates. But at the last public comment portion of this agenda, if you wanna make a comment, you can, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right, yes, ma'am.
The question was just asked, who is paying for the repairs on the park? And, you said, we asked if the developer was paying for it, and you said our fees had not changed, but were our fees used to fund the repair? Good question.
I don't, sitting here at this time, I don't know. But there are, please understand, y'all are a very small percentage of the actual revenue for the total budget of the CDD. And that will be true for years. When we open the clubhouse and we have the restaurant running and we have pool maintenance and we have landscaping and the landscaping that we have now and general operations and maintenance budgets, a small portion is coming from those living in the community. The rest is deficit funded by the developer. So what portion went where, I can't tell you. What I can tell you is your total fees make up a very small portion of what's paying out the professional services that are currently being provided in your community. The alternative is that we wait until the community is more built out to bring some of these services online, until there's more payees, and then we have less reserves to fund. But right now, when we bring in these improvements early, we are then choosing to deficit fund those improvements early as well. So as to what portion went where, it would be hard to ascertain, but I assure you, for all the services that are currently ongoing, the developer is still making the large portion of payment to them.
Just
Go
one
ahead,
point,
Nicole.
developer does not fund reserves, only the operating accounts.
Let's keep, because we're gonna have another opportunity for public comment. Is there any other comments in reference to rates? The amending rules, policy, and rates? And then we'll get past this public hearing. Then, like I said, at the end, we have another public, it's almost an open forum for public comments.
Just real quick, when people pay from the outside, pay for the fitness center and to belong to the pool,
Yes,
like
ma'am.
a pool club, where does that money go?
That goes into the, operational and maintenance, budget, just like your.
Of CDD?
Yes, ma'am, well, you're the same, so, yeah, what you're asking is like an outside wants to be a member. Yes, ma'am, they pay a fee a little more than you all pay, and it goes into the operating, and maintenance budget, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, is there any other questions about the fees and rates? And if not, we'll, hold those, any other questions, if it's not referenced to that, and at the end, like I said, it'll, open up the public comments, and we'll listen to each and every one of you all. Okay, all right. Hearing no further questions in reference to the amended rates and rules, I'm gonna go ahead and seek a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Is that you, Zach?
Yes, sir.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So at this time, I'll go ahead and seek a motion. Well, let's, we also need to go ahead and set the rates at this time. So, staff has discussed, some proposed rates. Of course, I could provide you what the proposed rates were that we discussed, or you guys can collectively amongst yourselves, discuss it and come up with rates, whichever you prefer, so.
Felix, would you please share?
Okay, so annual user fee, non-resident, which is what you were asking about, ma'am, we recommend a rate of $3,800 a year. Replacement access card and key fobs at $50 each. Return check and sufficient funds for rentals or any other, paid things that's paid by a check would be $50. Administrative fee for rule violation, that varies, we'll leave it up to $500. RV storage space and lease monthly, $250 for the first year, And then, the second year renew at $300 a month. So it's $250 a month for 12 months, and then it'll go up to $300 a month, after that. Pavilion rental fee for Compass Park, $300, but this would be, pavilion fee for Compass Park and any other rental area at $300. And then, pavilion, rental security deposit would be $150, and that would be a refundable deposit. And then the cancellation fee, if it's within 14 days, would be $50. That, we'll go ahead and go with those fees, sir?
Are you seeking a motion to approve the fees?
Yeah, we seek a, well, I'm gonna seek a we're gonna set those fees, we'll seek a motion approving resolution 2026-15, which will adopt the amended rules and rates of the district.
So moved.
May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, agenda number 4 is the consideration of resolution 2026. This is ratifying the action of the district manager and resetting the date of the public hearing on the proposed budget and operation maintenance assessment for fiscal year 2027. So amending resolution 2026-10 and resetting the public hearing for August 17th, 2026, 11 a.m. at the same location.
Quick question on the venue. I think we're getting close to
Yeah,
capacity
so-
here.
So we can do what I do for location, we can be, to be determined, and we can kind of maybe see something a little, has a little more space for that, especially that meeting, being a budget meeting.
Yeah, I think we're at close to
I would
capacity
agree.
here.
Okay,
The closest public location I'm familiar with is the tax collector office on Flora Branch. It is about 18 minutes from here.
okay.
I'm not certain if there is a church facility. I doubt we can do a school during the
Sure.
week, but a church facility that would be closer might be sought. But
Okay.
if not, that's the closest public that I know of.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and seek a motion approving, resolution 2026, setting public hearing for August 17th, 2026, 11 a.m., but we'll leave the location to be determined, and I will try to, or staff will try to locate it.
That opposes a few issues, because, it's already been noticed and mailed that it would be this location, so. What you would have to do is certainly make sure the public would have awareness and you have to consult with council. And just, someone again, in this situation.
That's right.
So, if Mary Grace is on the line, we can suggest that. I don't know.
Grace?
You,
Yes, so the mail notices have already gone out for the budget public hearing, so unfortunately, we're unable to use the location. The location that is set in the resolution that's before the board is the location that was included in the mail notices that have gone out already.
thank you, Grace. We'll look at better setting up chair
Yes,
arrangements
yes, we got it.
with, I think we could
Take some of the
probably,
tables and get some forms.
I think we could work this out.
Okay. Alright, so it's gonna be August 17th, 2026, 11 a.m., same location.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Agenda number 5 is the presentation of the audited annual financial report for fiscal year ended September 30th, 2025. This was prepared by Greer Associates. The district received a clean audit. The financial statements were fairly presented to all material respects. And for the board and anybody that's reviewing the agenda packet, I'd like to bring your attention to the report to management, which is on PDF page 4, which reports no current year findings or recommendations. If there are any questions, I'll gladly take those from the board regarding the audit, and if I can't address them, I'll bring them to the audit committee, the audit firm for follow-up. Any questions? Alright, I'll seek a motion to approve resolution 2026-17, hereby accepting audit annual financial report for fiscal year ending 30 September 2025.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, agenda number 6 is ratification items. We have 3 ratification items on there. It's Heat and Clean LLC amendment to the agreement for janitorial services. We have Freedom Pest Control, which will be providing termite, basically termite bond and treatment to the amenity center. And Becca LLC doing business First Coast Vendor Village license agreement, and they do like events and things of that nature. We got to review those, and then I'll seek a motion approving ratification items.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Agenda number 7 is gonna be acceptance of the unaudited financial statement as of May 31st, 2026. I don't know if you had that to review them, but there's no concerns to bring to attention to the board. Financials are good. And if there are no questions, I'll seek a motion approving or accepting the unaudited financial statements as of 31 May 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda number 8 is gonna be approval of May 18th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Any questions? Any questions? I'll seek a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All right, we're on staff reports. Grace, do you have anything?
Yes, just briefly, a legislative update for the board. An updated newsletter from my office recently went out recapping this past legislative session. And it did include that the bills that were presented to the governor regarding sovereign immunity and the micro-mobility devices regarding e-bikes, both of those bills have been vetoed. So we will see if those come up in a future legislative session, but the newsletter mentioned has a full recap regarding what was vetoed and what has passed and now has become law. So if you have any questions regarding that update, or if you didn't receive a copy of that newsletter, please just let me know, and I'm happy to send that over to you.
Any questions for Grace?
Yeah, thank you for the newsletter, Grace.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Grace. All right, district engineer, are you on the line? All right, I'm hearing you, district engineer, district manager. Next meeting will be August 17th, 2026, 11 a.m. This location, which will be the adoption of FY27 budget and O&M assessments. Do we have any board member comments or requests? All right. Now, we're on to agenda number 11, this is gonna be public comments. Same as before, except this here is anything that was not on the agenda, 3 minutes, you get 3 minutes, state your name and your address please for the record, and I'll open it up for public comments. Yes, sir?
Glenn Magloff, 315 Headstream. 2 comments. The first is the encouragement of the people outside of the CDD to use our facilities or the facilities that we're funding. Where's the parking? I mean, there's no parking now. So if you're encouraging this usage, I don't see it.
Maybe someone can just
Let
work
me-
on that.
Let me clarify, we're not encouraging the usage, we're not advertising it, we're not promoting that people come from vehicular access and opening up and creating enough parking to make it available. When the road at that roundabout connects to the Toll Brothers community, we expect that community, pedestrian access, bicycle access, to come over and use that area with the food trucks and the events that we host, as well as our current residents in that area. And there should be plenty of opportunity for pedestrian and bicycle traffic. Obviously, if we quadrupled the traffic, then we would be, the parking, we would then be inviting people to come from farther around because there would be a place to park. But because the parking is very limited, it does limit how many people can come from what distances. That is intentional. So while, yes, people can come in cars, it's not promoted because we haven't oversized the parking lot to provide for that. But to come on bikes from your surrounding neighbors, from your existing communities, or to come on foot is not discouraged.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Wendy Levinson, 67 Biblical Court, going back to what I tried to bring up before about the playground equipment. My grandchildren were here in April. In April, they couldn't use the equipment because it was too hot. So there is no shade whatsoever in that park. So the equipment is pretty much just gonna be sitting there unused, which is a shame because it's a great playground. So I would like to see if there's something that you can do to add some shade to the playground so that it can actually be utilized.
I don't have an answer this time, but
I
I
did
did make a
expect
note of that,
Yeah.
to try to investigate it.
And we may know that, yeah. Yes, sir?
Sid from 65 Coordinate Lane. So I just want to touch base on what question he asked, right? Since we don't have a specific parking lot, people who are coming are parking near the amenity center. So people are using the pool, and residents who want to go there don't have enough parking, especially around these events and when people are coming to use the playground. So what do we do for residents who want to use and they're sharing from the public?
I have not been informed of the parking lot being full. where there was no availability for residents to use the parking lot. If that's the case, I think the board would just need that, to be informed of that.
I think he's informing you.
You've informed me.
I'd like a little bit of known at that time. We certainly have cameras on all of that. We can go back and we can look and see, if that parking lot is being utilized to its capacity or not. Again, I haven't heard in anything real time of that parking lot being overly full. If that's the case, or if there is some time or day that that's occurring and we need to understand it, then we can try to better solve it.
And you're always welcome to email, Vanessa or I, send us pictures or something as well. Yeah, okay. Anybody else in the back area? Yes, ma'am?
Emily Zegwitz, 171 Coordinate Lane. I would just like to make a recommendation that this type of meeting, public hearing, is accessible on a virtual platform, because a lot of people, especially on the Pulte side, we have jobs where they have to go out and they can't have the ability to come here during their lunch to be able to attend this, which is their right. So this could be accessible on Zoom. I didn't see any sort of invite for Zoom.
No.
Are you saying there is?
No,
one?
I said there should be.
There should be one, like Zoom or Team. I'd like to make a recommendation to the board.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Next. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Bob Strange at 56 Spring Line Drive. I have been recording this meeting on my phone with permission from Felix. My intention is to upload this particular video to YouTube, and the link will be posted on the Facebook and Landing's Facebook page. How that link gets shared to the community is up to you all.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Bob Burke, 219 Spring Line Drive. The video surveillance that you have on the Conference Park, is that actually monitored 24/7?
So somebody that can help me with that
It
answer, I believe it's.
records 24/7, but it is not monitored. So there's no active monitoring of the security cameras. Those are done if there is an incident that we need to look back on, but the video is archived for, I don't know the exact time frame, but it's usually about 30 to 60 days or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Bruce Stedman, 38 Coordinate. I got 5 or 6 of them. You want me to give them all?
Whatever you can do in 3 minutes, shoot them, sir.
All right, so, one thing, we got a pothole developing on the circle, right behind the stage. You can see water's there right now. Parking in the street is becoming annoying. I know we're not supposed to have parking in the street nor basketball hoops, we got both. Weekly grass cutting is not occurring on the ponds, nor is trash in the water or around the pond edges, not occurring either. And so that's pothole, street parking, basketball hoops, grass cutting, and pond maintenance. Minute and a half?
Man, that was good. That was rapid fire.
Right. Let's see your answer in a minute and a half.
Too bad we couldn't fix them all in a minute and a half, but yeah, thank you. Anything else, sir? Yeah.
Want me to repeat it?
No, I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
Just one point, I think, got your notes, appreciate it. A lot of the roads are on first lift. Potholes can be addressed and taken care of. But if you experience where you see raised lip on the manholes, or at the curbs, it's because you're on a single lift of asphalt. A second lift does come in later, and to be determined, usually it's 26 months or so at a minimum from first install. And then that allows some of the construction heavy traffic to be gone. And they'll come through and they'll do some punch and repair at that time as well. And then we'll make the final lift. So you're not experiencing final asphalt. So if a patch is patched, but it's not the prettiest, it's also not permanent.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
So how did you come up with the pricing for RV storage?
Staff sat down, came together, and
Used urban rates for local, parking areas.
It is intended to be a premium over the county because it is located within your community.
It's supposed to be an advantage. not a premium.
I understand, but there are fees that go along with some of the usage items in here. And the RV has always been communicated that it would be a cost in addition to the regular dues.
Well, I understand the cost, but $250 for a 40-foot site that you can't do anything on? There's no amenities inside there except for water. You're parking out in the sun, there's no coverage. I pay less than that for 2 vehicles at another storage place, so I'm trying to figure out how you balance out nothing of great value in the RV storage versus where I park my stuff now. I can open up both my slides, I can do maintenance on my vehicles, on my boat, on my trailer. You can't do anything in the RV lot. And it's tight. If somebody doesn't know what they're doing when they park their vehicle, there's gonna be damage to them. And I'm worried about, if I put my vehicle in there and somebody can't make that turn, they're taking out my bumper and they're taking out the side of their trailer. So I'm trying to figure out how if you did any investigating for other facilities and what they offer versus what you're offering, besides the fact that we were buying in here and I was one of the top 15 houses in the neighborhood. The amenity was sold that it was gonna be a reasonable price and an amenity for us to use. And what you're doing is you're pricing me out. There's no way in hell I would use that lot. And what you're gonna do is if you wanna make money off of it, why premium price it? Why not bring it down to a reasonable rate where more of us will use it? Because I know a couple of people in here that will not use it.
Yeah, keep in mind, sir, this is the initial, rate set, you know, obviously, we can work through this as time goes as well, sir.
Well, I think you should base it on how many people will actually wanna use it. Because I think, everybody that I've talked to so far in the neighborhood that has one will not use it. The rocks themselves are a problem. Those rocks, if I dig my truck in trying to move my trailer, because my trailer's stuck in the rocks, I'm gonna fling rocks all over the place. So, and then those rocks, when I back into the space or pull into the space, are gonna start getting into the roads and stuff. We're gonna be running over the rocks and shooting them into trailers. I'm not parking my trailer where it's gonna get shot with a rock. So, I mean, you gotta take different things into account. Maybe call Rec Nation, maybe call other places and find out what they're offering. The fact that I can't walk in there, a couple people have to run their generators at least once a month. You're not allowed to do any work in there. They gotta go in, so what I have to do, or what they have to do, is go in and pull the trailer out, take it to the front of the house, which pisses off neighbors, in order to run their generators, and then take it back and put it in. That's not convenient. That's a pain in the butt. I can go to my trailer right now and run my generator. I can open up my boat and work on my motor. I can flush out my motor there. I can't flush it out there. You have water, but I can't flush it. So I think consideration needs to be done for the fact that it is an amenity, and maybe people, if they want to use it, will pay a lesser amount. You're asking me to pay $600 a month after the first year for something I'm paying $250 for now. Because you're only 40-foot site. I have a 30-foot trailer and a 20-foot boat.
Yeah, thank you. I hear you. The rate fees have been adopted with a max. Today's rates have just been set. Rates can be subject to change in the future. Now that the cap has been set, so they can be reassessed. As to those other items, I'm not sure that we will assess those at this time.
What do you mean other items? I mean, the rates have.
The lack of slides, the lack of usage, the
rate?
rocks, the narrow widths. It seems like you probably have your RVs in a great spot where they are.
I do.
Okay, but there's only 50 to 70 spaces, there's 1,300 homes. We'll certainly see how it goes.
Okay, but what is the avenue to change the rates? Is that something that you'll just do on your own, or is that something we submit to you and say, well, we think this is worth that? What's the avenue to set those rates?
I think it'd be at the board's discretion to consider rates in the future.
And what about maintenance and things like that there? I mean, the size of the lots are the size of the lots. You tell me I'm gonna spend $75 a month to put my boat there, I'll probably put my boat there.
Okay.
but depending on what I can do and what I can't do is also a consideration or an avenue.
And the rules and the rates have just been set.
Okay.
We will have to let some time go by.
Okay. All right. Anybody, yes, ma'am?
Sandy Weber, 65 Seaplane Court. Couple of things. First of all, when you park your car next to the pool and gym, and people are going over to the playground, there's no sidewalk. You have to go all the way down here, or you have to go all the way over here, and people are cutting through the bushes. So it's just gonna start looking worse and worse as people cut through. It isn't logical for people to go from one place to another. So if something can be done about that, that would be nice.
As the developer side of it would tell you, because I'm gonna keep this CDD, but those crossings get controlled by the traffic engineers that designate where they go in. And they have to do with sight lines of vehicles entering the roundabout. And so while like to the common person, including myself, say, why is there not the direct route? Because people always walk the shortest distance to get somewhere.
Right.
Why is the crossing not there? The traffic engineers using the ITE look at it and say, where are we directing people to cross and where are we trying to encourage them to cross relative to vehicular traffic sight lines and acceleration? So that's why it's located where it is.
Okay, I've got another thing. So there's that little park that's right there off of, where are we on Head Stream? Anyway, the park with the pavilion. Okay, so there's a fan that doesn't work. Nobody knows how to make it work. There's no timer on anywhere on that. Everybody's looked. So can we get that fixed?
That's HOA.
Okay, but it doesn't work. Whoever's responsible, also, there is a beautiful fire pit, but there are no gas logs in there. There's no gas line to it. We're not allowed to burn wood in there. What is the purpose of that fire pit?
Say again.
HOA.
Okay, well, we talked to the HOA and gotten no response.
Well, come see me after the meeting.
Okay.
We'll discuss it.
All right.
I'm gonna meet about this.
All right.
Thank you.
And I guess there's no garbage cans either, so that's also HOA?
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody told me they got a letter regarding an assessment for the CDD. We never got one. What is that all about?
We just got it yesterday.
Should be receiving them. If you don't, ma'am, email me, okay?
But what is it about?
It's just, the FY 27, proposed budget approved, so it's letting you know which your FY 27 assessments will be.
Is that in addition to our
CDD.
$3,000?
No, this would be whatever you paid last year, whatever the FY 27 fees will be this year. And I don't have the budget on me, so I can't tell you how much they've increased or what.
I think they stayed the same.
So it's not
Yeah.
That's within that 3,000.
But that's, anytime, there's any type of increase, wherever you'll receive that assessment, letter in the mail. And in there, it'll let you know, it'll tell you, your property lot type, and there should be an exhibit A in there, that'll show the assessment areas with the breakdown, so you can see what your assessment level will be now. And that's what it is, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? Yeah, okay, go ahead, sir.
Anybody else?
Yeah, oh, yeah. We'll give you a mulligan, all right?
Well, I was gonna wait because I was like, of the 5 questions I asked, none of them got answered.
Okay.
But it sounds like he kinda mentioned, on the pothole piece, which was a second coating on the paver, I understand that. That doesn't address the pothole, so I get that. So what you're basically saying is, all of my other questions are HOA questions. So when is the HOA meeting?
HOA is anything inside landings that Green Briar.
No, but I'm saying, when is the HOA meeting? Because we're
meeting.
not talking
The
about
next
that
meeting
here.
will be in October.
Of 28.
How often do you do them?
We usually do them quarterly.
All right, is that it for you, sir? You good? Well,
Yeah, I guess it's a
tell
good
you,
not
right?
answered, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Marquita Stedman, 38 Coordinate Lane. I just wanted to echo what Sid and this woman, I'm sorry, I don't know your name over there, in terms of the playground. I'm also a grandmother, I often use that playground, but the shade is an issue. So what I was going to say, in terms of the parking, I don't think the current
parking situation is a reflection of use, because had I used it because I was going over to the park, you'd actually see more of a usage. So I would just say that I don't think today's current view of the parking lot really reflects usage. Yeah, I would use it more if it was covered.
Okay. All right, anybody else that hasn't, first time go? Any first time goes?
All right, one more. I'll
Yes,
jump
sir.
in.
Okay.
David McMullen, 75 Pinnacle Court. Just to set the record straight, according to Exhibit A of the letter that we received over the weekend about the operation and maintenance assessment, the homeowners are carrying the burden financially, not the developer. So if you just simply do the math, we, the owners between the landings and Del Webb St. John's, are carrying the financial burden for the CDD.
If you're looking
Can I-
at the
can I- can I
unplatted
make a-
lots.
I'd like to make a comment on the financial burden piece. And I know, Felix, you don't have the budget, but fiscal year 27's budget for on-roll assessments, which means that is the revenues that are gonna be collected by those that are here today. Those are the folks that are on roll. Basically, you made the tax roll. The total revenue for FY 27 collection for on-roll assessment is $243,900. The landowner contribution, which is what Chairman keeps reflecting on about developer contribution, is $637,000. So the burden is fractionally on the on-roll assessments, but not solely, totally on that. And then there's also a little bit of off-roll assessment, which is also paid by most likely home builders. So that is the way the budget is made up. The reason why you got the letters is because this is the first time that we in Orange Branch actually gone to a on-roll assessment. So once we have enough homeowners that have purchased here, your information is turned over to the St. Johns County tax, and that's how the assessment roll is made up. So it's the first time, that's why the letters are there. If there's another increase in the future, obviously, you'll continue to receive letters, but that's the process. So I just want to address the
Thank you.
amount.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am?
I have lived in a CDD for a long time, but I never really thought about it too much. Does the CDD set up reserves in the same way an HOA does? And if so, how do you determine how much each month you're putting into reserves? Do you have a certain goal in mind or a certain percentage?
So when the community gets to a certain age, we'll request to do a reserve study. And that's usually in the typical nature about 6 years whenever the board turns.
Right. And you'll do like a 10-year reserve study?
Yes,
Right.
we'll do a reserve study, and then at that point but right now it's so young, and as the chairman mentioned, the portion that they develop, that they contribute is pretty good, generous amount. And honestly, if there's additional expenses from there, it's something that I'm sure the landowner will take care of as well. So
And I'm going to have the same question for the HOA, so just
in the future,
letting you
we will,
know,
but not right
just
now.
to understand how we're gonna handle reserves. Especially for paving and stuff like that.
Come see me after.
Okay. Anything else, sir? No, okay.
I just want to make one more comment regarding what you said about the lion's share of the money being used to fund is coming from the builder. As far as I know, Pulte's a for-profit corporation, a very profitable corporation, and you're building things out here and making this funding to sell more homes. And whether I'm paying 1% of the total cost or 90% of the total cost, I think we should have a voice as to what's going on. So this dismissing how I perceived it to be a dismissing attitude of like, hey, don't you worry, it's a small portion, we're out of the goodness of our heart paying for it. That's how I took it. So I'm sorry if, it came across that way, or that's how I perceived it, but it's, nobody's doing anything for free here, let me tell you. I think we can all attest by what we paid to move here. This wasn't a cheap endeavor.
Forgive me if I sounded dismissive. It wasn't my intent to sound dismissive about it. I was trying to frame the conversation that as for the improvements that we put into the community, those improvements are sized for what we think are appropriate for not only the enjoyment and use, but also for the financial monthly burden that absolutely y'all do as you move in, incur for debt service for operations and maintenance. I'm very aware of that. The thing that I was expressing, and thank you, Nicole, for clarifying when I was using reserves and I meant deficit funding in that, is that, you know, those improvements, by example, like the park or whatnot, it's for the 1,300 plus homes that will be out here that are not currently out here. And so there is a time where those improvements get put in and we are carrying that load for however long. Like, hopefully the economy stays great and the sales paces stay where they are and things burn off. But I've been in communities where we've been in year 8 and 9 and our deficit funding has continued to be over $1 million a year to keep a clubhouse open because there was very few sales that year and the year after. But we want to make sure that for those that are paying their portion, that they agreed to pay when they bought, that those services are available to them. That the pool is clean and open by the health department, and that the landscaping looks appropriate, and the property values are where they should be, because everything aesthetically and operationally is where it's at. And so I do understand the concerns about public coming in and using the park. I hear that plenty, but we're making up that reserve, and I think some of that attendance on the park from others from around us are gonna get replaced by what's gonna be our future neighbors inside the community. And in that interim time, it's us and the developer's deficit funding, that is carrying that burden so that your burden doesn't become disproportionate because you're just here early. And we're not just saying, okay, for the 20% that live here now, they have to carry the load. We're carrying it so that your balance stays where it is as we continue to reach build out in the community. I wasn't intending to be dismissive, and if that was received that way, I apologize.
I think I have a question.
You think you have one or?
Because I can't. Once you go past our gates and you're in the Del Webb area, what is the CD gonna pay for? I mean, the park is fine, but you know, that's for the front part more than the back part. We're 55 and over. We're not going on the swings. The people and the young folks, we'll be paying for that forever.
Speak for yourself, Mitch.
We'll be paying for that
I'll be
forever.
swinging.
Plus the amenity center that we have now, when ours opens up, we're not gonna be going to that one. We'll still be paying for that. Why didn't we just pay rent to use it until ours opened, instead of being burdened with a CDD fee forever for something that we're not gonna be using? And everything that's over on the other side of our gate coming into Del Webb, it's all, I keep mentioning it, it's all HOA. And everything that has to be paid is HOA. So why isn't the bulk of our CDD money going to HOA instead of to you guys? Wouldn't that make more sense? Roads, amenity center, mowing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to unpack that in a simple way. There's a couple different ways I could approach it, so forgive me if you're thinking one way and I approach it the other way.
Well, those is a good answer.
It can be multifaceted. Some of our Del Webb communities that are a little bit more isolated, a little bit more location, destination style, if there is not a connectivity to a master plan with more family style buyers, then we will often then spend more money making some generation improvements at that Del Webb so that open days and summers and things like that are somewhat accommodated for. They become very small usage. I understand that probably would get very few people to say, like, grandkids and others say, I don't have them, they never visit. I'm not sure where that lands, but we would still make those improvements in that Del Webb. We would run guidelines related to pool and pool usage and grandkid hours and things like that. And we would create some sort of programming at your, what otherwise should be a 55 plus amenity by not having a separate. So there is some value in having the separate, and it allows us to not have to program that in, whether it's in hours or usage or actual physical improvements into the existing clubhouse. Separately, anytime you do a CDD, like we just talked about with the rates, you have, if it's a CDD funded improvement, you have to make membership available. Doesn't always have to be like priced to market, but you do have to make it available. We're very conscious about making our Del Webb amenities in some way construed as being access for the public to go in and join under a membership. We prefer not to do that. And so instead of using CDD funds to develop or maintain improvement like that, even down to the roads that you would have to open up as public access, and anybody who came to the gate said, what's a CDD road? So it's a gate and, you know, just visual only, let me in. We're careful not to spend funds in that section. But there are CDD improvements like your stormwater systems, your wastewater systems, your water supply systems that are budgeted and used so that the funding for improvements for the things that would, like the clubhouse and the roads, not produce other users having the potential to use them. The private funds can be used for that so that the public funds are focused on public improvements that don't create any sort of construed outside access.
But we were told that our new amenity center would be funded and paid for by the HOA, not at all by the CDD. Rather before, the CDD ran the amenity centers. So our HOA fees, because that's gonna take a lot of money to run, are going up. And the CDD is not helping fund that. Once we have our.
But it's funding the other one.
Yeah, funding
And
the
that's
other
his point.
amenity center in the
So why,
front.
Yeah,
They should
by
be funded
funding the
more.
other one, we've had to offer public membership to that.
I don't want public input.
To this one, we have the HOA, but it's kind of like which bucket is it in? But both of those buckets, you're in both a CDD and an HOA. But we've been strategic about which bucket we allow them in, so that we're strategic in which ones can have a public access to them.
I think you're
By
missing
putting
the
it under the
point.
HOA, it keeps
Sorry.
it completely separate from being able to be construed as public.
I'm sorry, I think you're missing his point. Forgive me if I'm speaking for you.
That's okay.
But I believe the point that he is trying to make is that our HOA is funding the roads, the amenity center, our dog park, everything inside our gates, okay? We don't want the CDD to fund those, we're not asking for that. What he's saying is, why are we paying the same amount as the landings when we're not, their
We'll never
facility is
use it.
really not meant for us?
Come January, we'll never use it again.
Right, I mean, on occasion when my grandkids come, they wanna use the pool, you know, maybe once or twice a year, or whatever, but, so that's, I think that's the point that he's making, and I don't think we're addressing that inequity in the HOA versus the CDD that we in Del Webb are paying.
Yeah, it's best as I can explain it to your concern, and I do feel like it's important that y'all understand this. But the assumption that you won't ever use it again come January 1, just based on my experience in the life cycle of these communities, connected to other communities with adjacent uses that can be for grandkids, that can be for pickleball courts for overflow, and these are full because everybody's gonna be wanting them at the same hour of the day. Like, there is a benefit to those improvements that I think will continue to be utilized by this community.
But a much smaller percentage.
Understand?
Okay. All right, anybody else first time, then we'll.
I have a question for Joan Binnicle. I just wanted, speaking of the gate, when is the gate gonna be closed and manned?
It's an HOA, I should have.
That's an
Yeah, I know you've been once, but you had your hand up numerous times. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so regarding the bugs, is there any like pest control which can happen, which can take care of the bugs in the, at least the playground aspect? Because right now, if you go, even in the evening time, it's just covered with bugs. Even with bug spray, bug repellent, kids get bit a lot. So I don't know if there's anything that we can do or help.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting pest control to the amenities,
We have
but
pest
I don't know if that's
control,
gonna
but that's
address your
not for
gnats and stuff.
Flying
Right.
bugs, we can't necessarily eradicate all of the bugs from the plant, unfortunately.
You might be able to call the county and have them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why like overspray.
All right. You have anything back there, ma'am?
Yes, sir. How do we as the members pursue the idea that was brought up about shading the playground? Do we need a proposal?
We took note of it.
Okay, so we don't have, so, I know you took note, but is there anything else that we need to do to make it formalized?
No, it would be up to consideration by the staff and the board, at stated time. You're welcome to bring it up in public comment anytime, just keep it fresh. But at this time, it's there's potential further consideration, we don't know. It'll be up to the board, ma'am.
Has all the comments been captured in the meeting minutes?
Yes, ma'am, we're on record right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, everything said here is on record.
Quick question.
All right.
When can I see the budget before we have the meeting?
It's posted on the district website, sir.
And it's detailed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, it is. And if you need that link, it's on your agenda. If not, send me an email. I'll give it to you, sir.
Okay.
I'd like to speak up, and this is in terms of, while I'm a Del Webb St. John's resident, I cannot speak for the landings, and I'll let them speak. And that is the number of heavy construction traffic coming through the neighborhood in the middle of the night, waking up residents. Can the CDD, or is it the HOAs, restrict traffic to daylight hours?
I would have to look into that.
Especially the guys where they have the real heavy equipment back there, where they've been removing a lot of the vegetation and everything. Those are the guys that are usually,
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. We're even at midnight, so.
Okay. We wrote
I
that
have
down.
a silly question. Where, are some of you from Palte or all of you from Palte? Who makes up this board with the CDD? And why are there no women?
I knew you were gonna say that.
No grandmas on here, so kids, you know, How come the women aren't sitting?
We're divulging into.
Exactly.
The board you're looking at is, 4 of the 5 of us are Pulte employees, including myself. You also have a landowner representative for the lands Wilmacina here that have not yet been closed by Pulte for the future phases. And so you have developer control landowner, and then Felix, do you wanna talk about board election for residents?
Yep, so, I'm Felix Rodriguez, I'm with Ratha Hunt Associates. We're the district manager for the district, so I'm not technically a board member. And the way the board works is, for the first 6 years and 250 elected voters, it remains, developer ran, or, developer seated. And then at 6 years and 250 registered voters at time, 2 seats will go to a residence. Turn 2 resident seats 2 years from now, 2 more go to residents, and 2 years from then, the 5th seat will go to full residential board. So for 6 years, and if the board, if the district is established on an odd year, it gives it that extra year. It has to be an even year. So let's say for simple math, it was 2025, it really would be 2026 and 6 years from then. It has to be on an even year for elections. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. I think we're good, right? Okay.
Oh, there's a question.
Oh, yes, sir.
This is a layman / non-CPA question. So you said, to David's point, you said 267,000 is what the residents are putting in? On the budget, it has 365 homes. Times 1550, which is your smallest lot, is almost 600,000. So I'm trying to figure out what number you're coming, or how you're coming up with that number.
Those are the revenues generated on roll, and those are the tax roll.
Close it, close though.
That's right.
So, okay.
I can review.
Is this something you give me offline, or do you need to finish? About the budget?
One question, real quickly, just an observation for you when you're talking to the landscapers, because I know you told that gentleman you're gonna talk to the landscapers. When we have sprinklers running, when you're in a heavy thunderstorm, which happens frequently, we're wasting water and we're costing all of us to pay JEA for that water. So could they please, check their rain sensors on the sprinklers?
I'll ask, I just will say, a lot of those rain sensors don't monitor active rain. They monitor moisture. And so if it picks up that there's excessive moisture, they'll often trip them off. but you can have these summer shower deluges, and it's not enough to turn off the system right away, because it's waiting until there's a moisture that's reached, not an inch rain volume. So I can still look into it and see, but that's come up several times in the past, and that's what's often been the situation.
All right, I think, we'll go ahead and close out. Anybody, one last thing, anybody that has not spoken yet, that has thought of a question? Okay, all right, well, I'll go ahead, the time is currently 12:06 PM. I seek the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Thank you, everybody.